What's up, guys? Idaho cops dropped some bombshell forensic intel on Xana and Ethan. And did they really just confirm what we had thought all along? That both Xana and Ethan were awake and attacked by multiple assailants and multiple weapons. Let's get into it.
Pursues her all the way to her room, not realizing he had dropped the sheath of his knife.
Alright, let's freeze it right here and forget everything you have ever been told to this point. And let's break down and recap what we now know regarding Ethan and Xana based on law enforcement's new updates. First up, let's start with Xana, who remains relatively unchanged. We know that Xana was awake and fought vigorously with her attackers. We also know that Xana sustained over 50 stab wounds, and the fatal injuries were to her heart and lungs. Now, let's migrate over to Ethan, where there have been major new updates. As you know, we have discussed here extensively that Ethan's leg injuries were likely sustained first as a form of immobilization and to neutralize him as a physical threat. We now have confirmation from ISP investigator Gilbertson, the same investigator who recently conceded that multiple weapons were used on Kaylee, that Ethan sustained deep slashes to both hamstrings. And this was in fact done as a form of immobilization. But why would you need to do that if he were asleep in bed? But this is where it gets really interesting. Law enforcement also confirmed that they do not know who was ended first, Xana or Ethan. As we know, all along, the prosecution has alleged a sole assailant with one weapon. If this were the case, forensically, it would be very clear that there would be DNA transfer from the weapon from one victim to the next. But with law enforcement conceding they do not know who was ended first, that tells me that does not exist. Last but not least, as we know all along, the defense has alleged that Kaylee was attacked with multiple weapons and Ethan and Xana were attacked simultaneously. Was it ever really believable that Ethan slept through Xana's attack, having sustained over 50 stab wounds? But rather were Xana and Ethan both awake and ambushed on the second floor by multiple assailants and multiple weapons.
The alleged audio